everyone, and welcome to the Octavia Butler workshop. I'm Dr. Brianna Whiteside, former tenure track English professor turned public intellectual, and I am still an Octavia Butler scholar. I started studying Butler's work in 2012, and I have studied it for over 10 years. So I have a depth of knowledge and appreciation for her body of work that I'm so excited to share with you. On this channel, we'll be going through in-depth analysis of Butler's work. We'll be going through her canon. I'll be talking to you about what's in the Huntington Library archive, where I spent a few summers, and I will be teaching you about some things that she thought about her works. And so if you've ever wanted to learn from an Octavia Butler scholar, if you've ever wanted to be part of the academic conversation, this channel is for you. In today's video, I want to talk about Butler and the prophetic. Now, I am a Christian, so I have to say that, but I am also still an academic in a lot of ways. And so with the California fires, with people returning to Butler's work, a lot of the conversation surrounding her work is that Octavia Butler was prophetic. Octavia Butler was prophetic. Now, let's kind of break down what it means to be prophetic, and also let's break down what Butler saw herself as, because I think self-identification is very, very important. Now, to be prophetic, it really means that you have the ability to accurately describe or predict what will happen in the future. And of course, if Butler wrote the parable of the sower, if she started writing it in 1989, published it in 1993, set the book in 2024, and we see the California wildfires happening in 2025, of course, at first glance, you're like, yeah, this lady was prophetic. This lady had the ability to predict what was going to happen in the future. But what if I told you something deeper at play was here? What if I told you that Butler was not just predicting something? What if I told you that Butler saw herself as a histofuturist? You may be wondering, Brianna, what is a histofuturist? And I'm going to tell you, according to Butler, she is a self-proclaimed histofuturist. And a histofuturist is one who extrapolates from the human past and present, as well as the technological past and present, to go ahead and think through what could be possible in the future. Now, that is very similar to the prophetic, but I think that when we're thinking about prophetic, generally in Christian circles, more specifically in the charismatic circles, people are generally hearing directly from God. And so these are what people call as prophets if they are sitting in the office of a prophet, or what we call prophesying, right? Hearing what God is saying to you and then speaking forth what you hear. That is prophesying. But Butler does not see herself as prophetic or a prophet. She sees herself as a histofuturist. And one reason why this is important is because Butler went through a lot of research to write her stories. When I went to the Huntington Library, it's so fascinating that you could tell that she was writing and rewriting her story. She had tons of newspaper articles. She was a student of history. She was a student of history, and she truly believed that we should study history. And here's a quote from her Huntington Library papers. With regard to history, Butler writes, and I want you to listen closely. She says, I wind up doing some research for each book I write, but the worlds I create owe as much to my casual reading and deliberate research. I read history, biography, popular science, and medicine haphazardly for fun. So the worlds I create are likely to have roots in history. Though I stay away from knights and castles, medieval European history that is often used, right? And so I think that's important to know, because we should ultimately kind of give Butler credit for the academic rigor that is ingrained in her works. Now, with respect to history, I think another important quote from Butler's archive is her admonishment or encouragement for us to look to history, to learn its lessons, and to move forward to the future in a more informed way. And so with respect to the parable series, more specifically, Parable of the Sower, Butler specifically says, To survive, let the past teach you. Past customs, struggles, leaders, and thinkers. Let these help you. Let them inspire you, warn you, and give you strength. Yet beware, God is change. Past is past. What was cannot come again. The child does not mirror its parent. The grandchild is itself unique. Even mirrored images are reversed. And yet the past can teach. It can show how human fears and hates, human needs and heights and depths. Learn its facts, learn its feelings, learn its lessons, learn and let it go. And I think that's so important, right? Butler is saying, pay attention to the past. Learn what the past can teach you, but understand after you learn, you must move forward in wisdom and let it go. And I think that's so fascinating because a lot of people are kind of stunned and encouraged by Butler's work and returning to her work. And I think that's amazing. But I also believe in letting the woman speak for herself, and authorial intent is so important. And so, as I said, I am not taking away from anyone's point of view regarding Butler. I just wanted to give you more information, right? Butler did not see herself as prophetic. Actually, she was pushing against a lot of religion, and we know this in the parable series, more specifically in all of her works. Actually, she's pushing against religion in a very fascinating way. But she is ultimately a histofuturist. She is someone who studied history. She is someone who used the current trends and patterns in order to create a world based on her imagination. And so I know that it is not an imaginative world anymore. We are really living in a present moment where it could seem that she was a prophet, but she was not. This takes nothing away from Butler's imagination and her ability to kind of see trends in the world, especially now that we are under a new administration whose running line was or is Make America Great Again. I just wanted to draw this to your attention. I just wanted to add to the conversation because I think it'll allow you to have a deeper appreciation for Butler's work and what she's doing. As always, if I've just taught you something, drop a comment in the description box. Let me know your thoughts about Parable of the Sower. And let me know, what else are you interested in learning about Octavia E. Butler, our first Black woman science fiction writer? I'll see you soon. Bye.